It is 3-2 Texas after one. And prior to today's game, Billy sat down with Wolves defenseman Riley Stillman in our Village of Rosemont intermission interview. The Village of Rosemont, it's all here.
Thank you, Jason. Riley, first of all, a couple of weeks ago, you took a skate in the mouth after a big hit. How was that now? It had to be ugly, though, and pretty scary.
Yeah, you know what? It was unfortunate. It's one of the risks of you get playing the game and wearing a visor, and I knew the risk when it came, and it happened. And it was a little scary at the start, but I'm feeling very blessed and very fortunate that someone was looking over me, that I ended up with no marks on the outside of my face.
That's crazy. You don't?
Not one. Not one.
Just joking.
All on the inside.
Okay, I want to ask you a lot about family stuff. Obviously, your father played, your grandfather played, your brother is playing. He just recently got traded. Chase, I don't want to leave Madison out, your sister, because usually the sisters do get left out of conversations. But how about the competitive nature you and your brother had growing up? A little bit about that.
You know what? It always made things interesting and always made things fun. I mean, everything we did was full tilt from the time that we were 2 years old enough to be competitive. It was part of it. There's many sticks thrown, ping pong paddles thrown, tears in there and hugs, and that makes us who we are, and we're very, very close now.
Riley, a couple of years ago, you were playing in the minors, the American Hockey League with Rochester. Your brother was in Utica, and a first happened because there's a 5-year difference. So you didn't really cross paths very much in the game of hockey, but how was this game? It had to be pretty special.
It was really special. I mean, we're talking about it now, I have goosebumps, and we're just further enough that we missed each other in junior, and we skate together, and we work out together, and he lives with me in the summer. But that was a really special day for us and our family to have that, and both wearing 61 there was a special day.
That's my next question. If you saw that picture, both wearing 61, tell us about 61.
It's a special number in my family for a long time. Obviously, Dad wore it for most of his career. There's been different shades of 61 and 16, and when I couldn't wear either, the one year I wore 77 to honor my grandfather, but 61 has definitely been a special number we wear with pride.
Let's go back to just a couple of years ago. Riley lives in Peterborough in the off-season. I love Peterborough. 3 of my best years of my life were in Peterborough. We're going to show you a picture. The 3 of you, your dad, you, and your brother Chase, have all won a Robertson Cup in the Ontario Hockey League. Then you go to the Memorial Cup. Pretty cool, though, that you were able to go see your brother play in Peterborough and winning a cup.
It was. I mean, fortunate enough, I would have loved to have been playing it that deep in the year like he was that year. But to be around for that and to see him finish it off for all of us to have one was really special. And
we have a picture with your dad and your grandfather, and he's got the Gens jersey on, which a team you play for, and that is the Robertson Cup, folks. That's what you play for in the Ontario Junior Hockey League. Pretty special picture, though.
Yeah.
How about your dad? Let's talk about him. 1,025 games, over 700 points. I know you've talked a lot about him. He's coached also. What has he meant to you in your career? You've talked highly about what he has taught you in the game itself.
He's been so special. I mean, he's been a huge part of it. He's the reason why we fell in love with the game. When I was growing up, everyone asked what your favorite team was, and it didn't matter. It was whatever team he was playing for. So for him to push us and give us the opportunity, and we still talk, and obviously things change as you get a little bit older now, but it's been great, and he's been a huge part of who we are.
He's won 2 Stanley Cups. He won with Tampa Bay. You were pretty young then, I think around 6 years of age. But a couple of years later, he was with Carolina. They win the Cup. And you remember a bunch of stuff that took place then. How special was it to be around that team and kind of understand a little bit what was taking place?
I mean, it was so special. I mean, to have the opportunity, there's Chase there with us in the dressing room after. But it was a really special time. And to be able to remember that, and I don't think I missed a playoff game that year at home. To be a part of that and see that, all the work that put in and the rewarding feeling that the guys fit at the end when you receive the ultimate goal.
I found it funny, too. I think I read something along the lines that you said, you go to practices, you go into the dressing room, you play with the guys, you get older, you start skating with them, and you thought everybody played in the NHL, and all your friends were like the sons of NHL players.
Yeah, definitely. I think there was a conversation I had with a babysitter when I was little. Obviously, I don't remember, but I asked, what team does your dad play for? I just assumed that everyone's father played, and it made it pretty funny.
The one thing also about your father, he had a comment, and he told you, and you stick by it, work hard and keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I think that's the best rule or the best thing you can follow in any aspect of life, whether that's working, whether that's playing. I think if you can work hard and let your work speak for itself and keep your mouth shut, you'll go a long way.
You had an uncle that played professionally also. Bud. No, that's Bud's your grandfather.
Yeah, Sean.
Sean, pardon me.
Yeah.
So Bud, I think I played a little bit against Bud back in the day, but he was with Oshawa. Obviously, we saw that picture, but he was also with Maine Mariners, played 475 American Hockey League games, won the Calder Cup with Maine, was the MVP of the playoffs that year. How neat is it to have a grandfather also that's played so much professional hockey? He wore the number 77, as you see, and you can tell the story behind that too, that one year that you wore 2 numbers.
So the one year I wore 77 was to honor him. I was in, and we always looked at it. I'd worn 2 numbers at the same time.
Right.
16 plus 61 equals 77, and that's what he wore. So he's been a special part of that. I mean, he used to take me fishing every morning growing up when we lived next door to. They lived next door to us at the lake, and he's been a huge part of our career, from instilling those work values and keeping the game. And the biggest thing he said is enjoy the game. It's fun. The game is fun. So that's a big part of it. He's been a huge part of my career.
And not only did he wear 77 and you wore it, but that 77 is in the rafters in Maine because he was such a great prevalent player for them winning the Calder Cup. Pretty special.
It was really special, and I was fortunate enough to have the father's trip this year in Florida, and he joined me. Obviously, my dad coaching couldn't come, so he was the first call I made was to him.
Very cool, very cool. Riley, thanks for joining us. Keep up the great work, and let's get these guys going again.
Will do. Perfect.
We'll be back with more of the first intermission after this.